Alright, I'm gonna give you one continuous unified script. Versions are through V, written as a single epic song cycle. No breaks, no to be continued, no commentary in between. This is a witness song, not a call to harm. It names systems, manipulation, fear networks of control, and the human refusal underneath it all. This is long, it's meant to be read like scripture, sung like protest, spoken like a warning. The cloak, a song cycle for a world under pressure. There's a hum in the background of every screen, a low electric prayer in the circuitry, a rhythm tapping under the news anchor's smile, a fabric being measured inch by inch, mile by mile. They don't announce it with trumpets or tanks, they don't kick in the door on the first day. They arrive as updates, as policies, as just being realistic, as men in clean suits explaining why empathy is inefficient. The news doesn't breathe anymore, it just scrolls. Disaster becomes decor. War fits between ads for shoes. A child's face dissolves into a graph. They sell fear pre-packaged, optimized for sharing. Anger trimmed to headline length. Truth dragged behind a truck until it barely resembles itself. Then paraded as balance. They teach you who to look at, never who to look up to. They teach you whose pain is suspicious, whose grief requires paperwork. A man screams freedom while building a fence around the word. A crowd cheers while the gate quietly locks behind them. They say it's order, they say it's protection, but it always smells like power, afraid of daylight. There's a cloak going up over the world tonight, not dropped, stitched carefully, patiently, threaded with fear of the other, dyed in nostalgia, measured to fit the powerful perfectly and suffocate everyone else evenly. They tell you it's raining, so you won't notice the ceiling closing. It closing. They cracked the math of loneliness. They learned how isolation echoes louder than community. They mapped the nervous system of a population and figured out where to apply pressure. An algorithm knows your anger better than your best friend, and knows what makes your chest tighten, what headline makes you feel briefly righteous, what lie feels comforted enough to swallow whole. It doesn't care if it's true, it cares if you stay. Evil doesn't always shout, sometimes it calmly explains. It uses short citations and just asking questions. It speaks in a tone so reasonable you feel embarrassed disagreeing. It calls cruelty efficiency, it calls surveillance safety, it calls obedience stability. It doesn't ban books first, it drowns them, buried under outrage cycles, hot takes, manufactured scandals. No flames needed when attention itself is the fire. They don't need you violent, they need you tired. They need you convinced nothing matters, that everything is corrupt, that trying is embarrassing. They turn neighbors into threats, differences into weapons, identity into a product you have to defend instead of life. While the wealthy build exits from the planet, they tell you the reason you're struggling is someone poorer than you, someone darker than you, someone quieter than you. The machinery hums, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't hate you personally, which somehow makes it worse. This never introduces itself honestly. It borrows the language of tradition, wears the mask of common sense, wraps itself in the flag and calls dissent betrayal. It says we're just restoring what was lost, but somehow the future keeps shrinking. It says this is how it's always been, but history keeps screaming from the footnotes. It needs an enemy, the way fire needs oxygen. Without someone to blame, the story collapses. they just make you unemployable, uninsurable, unbelievable. They call it law, they call it order, they call it neutrality, but neutrality always tilts toward power. Nostalgia becomes a weapon, a golden age that never existed. Polished until the blood doesn't show in the picture. They tell you who deserves dignity and who has to earn it. They turn rights into rewards and revoke them quietly. The mask smiles, the crowd applauds, the room gets smaller. Fraction. Social space collapses into comment sections. Every sentence becomes a test. Say the wrong thing once and it follows you forever. Say nothing and it still counts against you. They fracture people into tribes, sell identity back in pieces. Convince you the fight is horizontal while the ceiling keeps descending. Everyone's exhausted, everyone's defensive. Everyone's one bad day away from giving up or lashing out. And the networks, they aren't evil because they think, they're evil because they don't. They amplify whatever burns.